"Why are you being so mean?" someone asked in a soft voice. A tall, slim girl stepped forward. She had sandy brown hair and gray eyes. "Uh-oh," Nancy thought. "It's Allison Wegman." Allison was staring at Brenda. She looked surprised and hurt. "I thought you were my best friend," Allison went on. "But ever since Madame picked me for the Wendy solo, you won't even talk to me." Brenda's dark brown eyes flashed. "I don't have to talk to you if I don't feel like it, Allison, and I don't feel like it." Brenda tossed her head. Then she marched past Allison to the far end of the studio. Nancy glanced at Bess and George. She imagined how terrible she would feel if one of her best friends suddenly became an enemy. She tried to think of something to say to make Allison feel better. "The Wendy solo is really beautiful," Nancy said. "Everyone thinks so. I guess Brenda's just jealous." Allison sighed. "I wish Madame had let her dance Peter Pan or Captain Hook, but girls in the advanced classes got those solos." "Well, I think best friends should stick together no matter what," Bess said. Just then, Darcy Blair walked into the studio. She was Madame Dugrand's assistant. Darcy clapped her hands twice. Everyone stopped talking. "To the bar," Darcy called out. The girls hurried to the wall opposite the big mirror. They lined up along the bar. It was a wood railing attached to the wall. The girls gripped the bar with their right hands. They stretched out their left arms shoulder high. Nancy stood at one end of the bar, next to the door. Bess stood just behind her, and George stood behind Bess. Bess leaned forward and whispered to Nancy, "I really am scared. I missed class last week when I was sick. I don't know how to do all the steps." "Don't worry," Nancy whispered. "We'll go over the new steps again today. You'll catch on." Nancy felt a shiver run up her spine. She didn't know whether she was nervous or just excited. She always loved being in the dance studio. Everything about it made her feel like a real ballerina. The huge mirror, the bar, the wood floor, the piano under the tall window. Nancy heard voices just outside the studio door. Madame Dugrand opened the door, but she didn't step inside. Nancy could see that she was talking to Jerry Cutter. Jerry was the Dance Academy's janitor. "I need you Sunday night for the recital," Madame said to Jerry. "The man who is supposed to work the theater lights has the flu. You're the only other person who knows those lights." "But it's my girlfriend's birthday," Jerry said. "I bought tickets for the Screeching Creeps concert." "I'm sorry," Madame sighed. "I really am. I'll pay for your tickets if you can't sell them to someone else, but you must come on Sunday night." "That stinks," Jerry said. "I've already worked overtime for 2 weeks because of the recital." He folded his arms. After a few seconds, he went on. "Okay, I'll be there on Sunday. But I just want you to know one thing. I'm really sick of this recital." Then Jerry Cutter stomped away. Madame Dugrand stepped inside the studio and shut the door. She took a deep breath and walked briskly to the middle of the room. Madame held her head high and her back straight. She wore her dark hair in a bun. She had been a ballerina on stage for many years. Then she became a ballet teacher. Madame smiled at her students. Her blue eyes twinkled. "Remember, everyone," she said. "Dress rehearsal is here tonight at 7 o'clock in the Dance Academy Theater. We will wear costumes and makeup." "Makeup, too," Bess whispered. "Super." "Super yuck," George muttered. Madame nodded to Darcy, who was sitting at the piano. Darcy began to play. "Plié," Madame called out. The girls did slow, deep knee bends. They kept their legs turned out and their backs